Now, I'm going to take you into the sign to where Garden O is, because this just gives you a little idea of how quickly vegetation grows in the rainforest. When we put that in about 9-10 months ago, the hill was almost bare. There was almost nothing on it because we'd done a deep weeding. Most of the stuff that's growing on this in this garden is actually really good stuff that we like to use, and they also serve a utilitarian purpose. So Garden O is from the healing terrace over here. It's just to the right of Garden N, right here, and it goes all the way over to just where that coconut tree is there. So I'll describe some of the maintenance activities now for this garden. Basically, it's the slope. It's the slope. And we have a number of edibles. It's mainly a edible garden, though there's some decorative sections as well. First edible is Suriname cherry. That's this plant here. As you can see, the Suriname cherry is kind of leaning a little bit to the left. I hope this shows up on the video. One of the reasons why is because there's a lot of mulberry all around that's overshadowing it. So it's trying to get some sun. So one of the main maintenance activities here would be to cut the mulberry. The beauty about mulberry is you can literally snip it, and then you take the stick and stick it back in the ground and it will grow again. And that's a great way to harvest this mulberry. You can see right here, this is a great place. This is the mulberry leaf. This is the Suriname cherry, and they're just getting overshadowed by the mulberry. So we can thin that down. Now over here is Mulberry Hill, because the idea is to fight the weeds. We try to sometimes find useful plants that are great, that can hold their own. Mulberry is one of them. This whole hill was bare about 4 months ago, and we planted it, a bunch of mulberries. Not only have they grown, but they've also fruited already. And what we do is when we harvest these ones over here and we cut those down and thin those out, we simply stick it in the ground over here to make this area just really, really thick with mulberry, so that it doesn't become like this, which is the cane grass horror. This is what's happening right now. We have cane grass along the slope. The cane grass grows really high. It's very hard to maintain. It's itchy, and yeah, not the greatest plant, you know. This cane grass patch, this whole lump here, also has another wonderful secret. It formed a cocoon around a truck bed, which the previous owner left in his wonderful graciousness. So one of our maintenance activities is that we tackle it, then it gets grown again. So this is a slope where, especially this part here, all where the cane grass is, we eventually want to take all this cane grass out and plant a plant called vetiver. Because vetiver is a really good plant that holds hillsides without making landslides. It sends down an 8-foot root, and basically it holds the soil, the Huna cabin. This is the accommodation which we want to keep very nicely protected with a nice vetiver grass cliff. So the maintenance activity for this will be taking out and for now just keeping down the cane grass, and once we get a good supply of vetiver, to plant it in this location. On the lower level, we've already started to do some planting. You can see some red coleus. We're putting that along the hills. We've also got some little other decorative plants here. This little wall here, we put a retaining wall to protect us from any landslides that might fall into the road. And so on the back side of it, we're planting a whole bunch of decoratives. And we're using cardboard to hold down the previous level of huge amount of weeds. This is the end of where the garden is. It ends where the coconut tree is, and this is a second terrace. Now you might not believe it, but there's actually a trail in here. It's we built a trail. In fact, You can see a couple of little posts and stuff like that. But again, testimony to how quickly the jungle grows. If you don't use it, you lose it. And within a year, stuff grew and just took over the whole trail. Now we're kind of holding off on doing too much more work until we can replace this cane grass with vetiver, and thus make the whole thing a lot better. So this closes out Garden O. Thank you very much for watching this video. Aloha.